Hello, welcome back. This is Neil from ipaintgirls.com. That is ipaintgirls.com. I just kind of said it weird the first time. Right, so check out the website for more free tutorials. What I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to continue. Let's see, I'm going to continue working. I'm going to put these on lock on just the skin layer. And I'm going to get the skin layer, to be all finished, highlights and everything, and change the line colors in the skin layer. And that way you don't have to watch anymore if you don't want to. That way all you have to do is watch this next part, maybe the next two parts, and then all the skin will be done. And then that's all the techniques you need to know. And you just apply the same techniques you learned for the skin to the clothing and to the weapons and to the hair. And then, the background, I think I might do the background too in this one. To record the background and show how to do that, because you don't have to even have the lines in there at all if you don't want to with the background. Backgrounds can range from like a painterly look to a shell shaded look. It really just depends, but you don't want the background to take away, so usually you just kind of do a different style. Anyway, let's get going on the skin then with our highlighting. So I know that I'm going to have a big highlight right here on the arm, and so there's probably I think I'm going to use my dodge layer for highlighting most of this side, and I'll use my other side for the pink lighting on this side. So it'll be kind of like yellow lighting and pink lighting to kind of balance it. Maybe even blue lighting, I don't know. We'll see. So fill this layer in with black. Pick your paint bucket tool. This is the dodge layer. Fill it in with black, like so. And then go to the thing up here, the drop down menu, the layer options, and we're going to set it to color dodge. Now if for some reason when you do that it looks all weird and it highlighted your character and it makes the character look light or whatever, then go to image, adjustments, and make sure you're in RGB mode. So just switch it to that and then it'll fix it. So okay. Now we're going to grab our paintbrush and we're going to have a soft brush. It's important to use a soft brush for this. Don't want it too big. Again, we need to get rid of those two layers, just disappear them by checking the eyeballs for a second, and then go to select, color range, select our skin color. Okay, this will bring up the little ants, our selection mask, and then hit Control H to hide it, but it's still there. Now we can come in and start painting, and I'm going to turn the opacity way down, and maybe even you might want to test it between like 5% and up to like 10% or a little bit more. Just depends how much control you have and want. Also, another thing you can try doing is take off the pressure sensitivity to your brush, and then that way you only get that one tone, and you don't have to worry about how hard you're pushing. Right. So what you'll notice about this that's really cool, I'm going to do it a couple times, is, and if you get really hard it'll get white like that, but notice it kind of adds this metal look. Now obviously you don't want that look on skin, but that could be really cool for something that's metal. But what this is really cool for is when you have the opacity down enough, like 19 right here, and then you just kind of move over everywhere the light's going to be hitting, like so. Notice it kind of changes the color of everything, so it adds this dual tone, which is what you want. And you can get it other ways, but getting it that way is kind of a cool way to get it. So notice now all that is light up, but not too light up. It's not too lit up, so it just kind of altered the color a little bit. Then if you want, you can also do the highlight layer as well, either on top or below this, and get a little color variation. And we can add color variation at the end too as well, with adjustment layers and like a layer that's set to soft light and whatnot. Okay, then I'm going to turn the size of the brush down just a little bit. I want to add one more layer, and this one here is going to be the bright. This is where the brightness is going to be. And notice I'm not doing the. I have rather nothing is checked over here. I don't have anything set to pen pressure. Then, if you want, you could turn on, or if you want to erase, make sure you don't erase. Make sure you then choose black as your color. So you're only using black and white to do this on the dodge layer. And then you can come through and you can pull over with black, and you'll notice that you can kind of dull out some of the color if you didn't want it to be too bright on some parts. You can just kind of go over the whole part there, and notice if I have, without the pressure set, I get nice, perfect consistency with it. I don't have to worry about how hard I'm pushing, so that is really useful sometimes. Go back to the white color here. Also, if you pick like a gray color, you won't get as much as well either, so that's another way to control how much brightness you have. And I just want to add a little bit more like that to that part. I want to make sure I don't overdo this though, because I don't want it to look like metal or whatever. Now another thing we can do is we could go with our highlight layer, and I'm going to go above the dodge layer, pick this kind of one of these really pinkish colors, but I want it to be much lighter, almost like a highlight pink, like so. And then on that layer I could add in that pink color, and if I'm just stroking one time in the direction of the arm just to kind of lighten up over that color to make it kind of pinkish, and voila. So that's how you can do like color variation. And then I'll add another highlight layer, probably, maybe not. Let's see if this will work. I can still work on this layer, I think. I probably should do a separate layer just in case I decide to change it though, so I'll do the back highlights on a separate layer. I'll do that next though. Just going to kind of lighten that up a little bit. Notice I still have my mask on, so if I hit Control H it comes back, so I can see that it's on there. For a face here, I can actually just lightly push this pink color like that, and I can go right over all those other colors if I wanted to. But notice it's kind of fading out some of those colors, so you have to decide if that's the look you want or not. And I just want a little bit there. I'm going to go back to my dodge layer now, and let's see here, pick white again. I want to pick a really big brush and just kind of push over that part a little bit, because I want the light hitting from this side of the face. And notice how that really adds a cool look. I'm going to kind of lighten up that shadow a little bit too. You can also drag this underneath the shadows if you don't want it to affect the shadows, you just want it to affect the skin underneath the shadows. Or if you just want it to affect that layer, you can. So it's up to you on how you want to do this. And then I might even go back in and add some of the lighting to there, but I don't think I will, so let's go ahead and continue moving along. And I still have the same soft brush, and remember I don't have anything set for pin pressure, so I'm going to just kind of push over this one time. Notice I don't have to worry about how hard I'm pushing. I just keep rolling over it, on the same, because I don't have anything set to the pressure. I want just that little bit there, and maybe, oh, well, what happened there? I didn't mean to do that. I just want to hit it a little bit like that, because I know that the light kind of hits here, but also I know I'm going to have light from over here, so I'm going to turn this down and just run along the edge here like this, run along the edge of that. I'm going to end up erasing some of that, but I'm going to do that in just a second. First I want to get that. Sometimes it's almost like airbrushing. If you ever airbrushed before with like a real airbrush, sometimes it's kind of like that. You kind of use those same kind of techniques, masking techniques, and then going back over what you just did. Like now I'm going to go back over this with black and kind of erase some of it. So it's just like there and there. And then I decided, is that how much of that highlight I want? And then also I'm going to highlight the lines. So let's go ahead and just do that really quick and see what it looks like. So I'll spend this last minute just doing that really quick. I'll go to the lines layer. Notice I have this checked, the lock transparency pixels, and then I'm going to pick, let's say, kind of like this pink color here. Pick my pen tool. Oh, that's right. I still have the layer mask on. I'm going to go ahead and disappear that. Okay, hold on a second. Right, that would make turn the opacity back up. Can't believe I forgot that. And I'm just going to do all that line right there too, because I know all that line is going to be the same color from the light hitting all that side. I'm just going to kind of change all those lines. But not those ones. I'm going to change those ones as kind of pink color. And then I'm going to take my soft brush here, and I'm going to take that light pink color. I'm just going to kind of push it back up to kind of fade that a little bit. And so notice that that looks really cool. Now I got that nice highlight. Then I can go back to my dodge layer, pick white again. Again, turn this way down. I could just leave the pressure on this brush, or I can make a new brush so I don't have to keep turning it off. But I'm going to leave the pressure on, so it depends how hard I push now. Oh, and you know what I have to do? I have to put my mask back. Anyway, that's it for this video. We'll come back for the next one. So please rate and subscribe. Appreciate it. See, it's coming along, starting to look pretty cool. That nice cell shaded look.